In this last lesson, in this chapter on blending modes, I want to kind of go in a different direction. But just because this is the last lesson in a blending modes chapter doesn't mean we are finished with using blending modes in this lesson series. They're just too important for that. I want you to open up this image right here, Behind Clear Blending PSD. It is in your exercise files. We have 3 layers. We have a sandy kind of background pattern. We have a whole bunch of colorful birds, and we have a blank layer. Let's turn off birds and concentrate on the blank layer. Why are we here? This series has been about working with blending modes in layers. Blending modes work with things like brushes. What I'm going to do is come over here and pick up my paintbrush. Now you will notice up here it says normal. If I click that button, there are all your blending modes, including 2 behind and clear that we haven't seen before because they only work with the brushes. So if I come over here, choose a normal, let's start normal, and I come over here and begin painting, paints normal. Now what does that mean, painting normal? It means what I think I would expect to see if I was sitting at a canvas and painting with a brush. No surprises, the paint goes on, it goes opaque, I move on. So that's painting normal. Let's try this. Same layer, same blending mode on the layer, which is normal. Change the blending mode on the brush to, say, how about dissolve? Check it out. That's kind of neat. It totally changed how that brush works. Now let's take that another step forward. Let's choose a different color, like maybe yellow. Come over here and change the brush into something else like screen. You'll notice when I begin painting, that's the yellow you would see even on a normal blending mode. And here's the thing to understand. When you're working with blending modes on brushes, it's controlling the layer, not multiple layers. So as long as you're in a layer, it's not going to change until you interact with something. See how I got lighter? Very subtle, but it did it. The blending modes work in a layer with other things that are already in the layer. That is actually pretty cool when you think about it. And you can play around with that. Let's go ahead and turn off test and go back to the birds. I want to show you the new ones. Now they are behind and clear. Now let's start with behind. If I select the behind blending mode and then choose a color and begin painting, actually I should turn the layer on so it'll work, it will not paint anywhere that contains paint. It will only work in areas that are transparent, behind. So obviously, if you've got the layer locked for transparency, it won't work at all. So behind will work with anything, behind anything that is not transparent. Now we're still on the same layer, remember that. Clear is the other one. Now what clear does, and well, let me show it to you. It works almost like an eraser, at least the way we're using it right now. As a matter of fact, it's working exactly like an eraser the way we're using it right now. But as you can see, we've got a lot of blending modes. We've used them with layers, but functionally they will work the same way in a single layer if you're using them with one of your tools. Don't forget you've got them up here, and don't forget you got them over here. They are awesome. On to the next.